Just a tad bit. Come. Can y'all hear me, King?
Gone. It's loud.
Praise the Most High, man. All right. Come. All praise to the Most High, man. Hey, we're the Watchman for Israel coming back again. Watchman for Israel Memphis. And hey, this is another Spirit Check Saturday, right? Where we come in and week out, and we give our honor, our praise, and our glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Man, understanding that the time is not to turn back and keep the commandments, man. Right? We're in this thing to war against spiritual demons continually, to war against the concupiscence and lasciviousness that attacks us throughout the week, throughout the day, man. Whether we're at work, whether we're at home, whether we're with friends, whether we're with the brothers or the sisters, man. This is a continual fight, man. And no one knows this fight better than those who are being woken up back to the commandments, man. No one knows really how hard that fight is until you come out of that darkness and you see what work has to be done, man. How much you've been a sinner and a reprobate, man. That work is a work that you cannot number, that you cannot put a measure on, because it's so much to do, man. And that's gonna go until while we're doing this Spirit Check Saturday today, man. The lesson goes before today is: are you too lazy to build, man? Are you too lazy to do the work, man? Right? Do you want to do the work, man? Do you even know what the work is? And laziness goes into a whole demon, man. Right? A lot of work goes undone because we don't count the cost, right? We don't count the cost, whether it's sufficient enough, right, to finish the project. A brother will start working on the car or something, man. Get the parts, man. Get up under the car, man. And then the next thing you know, man, he's sitting on the couch, man, no eating popcorn, man. It got too hot out there, man. Too much oil was falling in his face, man. He didn't count the cost to see whether it was sufficient or not, whether he could finish this thing or not, and then it became too grueling. Now you just have a car sitting up rusting and a project undone. And a lot of our people, they move from one thing to the next because it's unprofitable to their spirit at the time, man. It's unprofitable for them to keep going through the pains of endurance and patience in this walk. So everyone, man, under the sound of our voice, we have to understand that there is a lazy spirit in Israel, man. There is what do you call it? I deserve to relax spirit in Israel, man. I deserve spirit, man. To where people come into this walk, even those who aren't in this walk, they look at this thing and it's too hard when they start putting their hand to the plow, man. Right? So give me this real quick, right? I want you to look up for me, or anyone who has a phone, look up, what does idle mean, man? Right? Because laziness goes into a spirit of idleness, right? What does it mean to be idle? What does the Webster's or dictionary say? What does Google say, man? What does idle mean? Anybody? Right?
You ready?
Come, bring it out.
It says, of a person avoiding work, lazy.
Wow.
And synonym slothful.
Wow.
Work shy.
Wow.
Loafing.
Man, hey, start saying that again. Speak a little louder, man. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear the brother? Say it again, King.
All right. Avoid work.
So the first thing when we look up the word idle, right? It says to avoid the work. Who all knows somebody where you're at the job and they're trying to avoid doing their duties, and then it falls on you or something, man? Have anyone ever been in a situation where you're in a group project and someone's trying to avoid their duties? Now you got to do double the work or something, man? Was that you who was avoiding the work? Waiting till the last minute, man? The teacher put you in a group and you all have every part assigned, and here you are avoiding the work, man. Man, and she got it. She's a straight A student, man. I'm going to just kick back and let her do it, man. And just get the answers, man. Crunch time, man. Was up late, man, talking to my honey. I ain't got time for this. Who's avoiding the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man? Keep reading, man.
Lazy.
Lazy.
Slothful.
Slothful.
Loafing. inactive, sluggish, lethargic, listless, torpid, slack, lackadaisical.
Wow, man. Are you all hearing all of these adjectives, all of these descriptions, man? Lackadaisical, man. Just in la la land, man. And this is the issue with Israel, man. Who's putting their hand to the plow, man? To avoid work means you want the sentence of death. What are some of the works that we talked about last week that we have to do in order to make it to the kingdom of heaven? Do you all remember? The fruits of what? The fruits of who? The Spirit. And what were some of the fruits of the Spirit? The first thing on that list was what? Say it again. Say it again. Love, man. These are works. People are too lazy to love, man. People are too lazy to pray for one another. You're idle, man. And don't be in this truth and you're being idle, man. Give me the book of Proverbs. Let's jump right into this thing, man. Let's bring out some scriptures, right? Don't be too idle to read your book, man. You're too idle to take notes. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 21, right? Proverbs chapter 21. Let's jump right into this thing. Proverbs 21, okay? And start at about verse 25. Follow the shot.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 25.
Look it out.
The desire of the slothful killeth him.
What does it do?
The desire of the slothful killeth him.
What does it do?
The desire of the slothful killeth him. For his hands refuse to labor.
It says the desire of a person who has no dang drive, passion in his truth. You're going to be a covetous window shopper, man. Man, I wish I was doing this. Man, I wish I was doing that. Man, if that was me, I'll spin a block like this, man. You know what? You know them brothers, man. You know them sisters. Man, if I had $1 million, if I had her money, if I had his money, this is what I do. This is what I do, Spirit, man. Your desires are going to kill you. Because you're going to never put your hand to the plow. You're going to never get over that hump to do thus says the Lord, man. Right? What does it say in verse 26?
Verse 26. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not.
So you coveted greedily all the day long. We know coveting is against the commandments, right? To covet something that's not yours, to put your mind on something that is a desire and you can't attain it through your own hands. So you're looking to take something, man. You're looking to covet is you're literally wanting to go take something, man. I wish that wife was mine, man. And she's sitting next to her husband, man. I wish this was mine, man. But you don't have the mindset to attain these things, man. So much more is it in the spirit. That's just the physical part about it. What about the spirit? What about the spiritual things? And we're going to talk about that, man. Who's willing to put their brick in, right? Everyone should be willing to put a brick into this foundation that has already been laid, man. There's a foundation that's been laid through the Spirit, man. And we're going to go into that, right? Give me the book of Hebrews. And give me the book of Hebrews chapter 6. Right? Give me the book of Hebrews chapter 6 and start at verse 10. Right? Because a lot of people want a pat on the back to do work. A lot of people want instant gratification to jump in this truth. Well, you didn't give me a shout out, brother. Well, I was doing this for this long, man. You know, I feel like I should be moved up right now. The Lord isn't looking for the impatient and the prideful, man. The Lord is looking for those who are ready to show humbleness, meekness, greatness through the Spirit, man. Who's building and who's tearing down, right, man? Right? Who's tearing down through the Spirit? Bring this out, Hebrews chapter 6, man. Start at verse 10.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 6 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name.
Toward who?
Toward his name. In that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister.
Come, keep reading.
And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end.
So this is about a walk, man. That word diligence is consistent. And we're looking for everyone who takes up the charge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to show that same diligence, man. To show that same work ethic. To not get tired of what the Most High may bring to you, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Right? Didn't Job say that, man? In chapter 2, hey, man, look. Doesn't good and evil come out of the hands of the Most High? I'm going to thank and praise him for it all. So you all have to look towards being diligent in this truth, man. And not giving yourselves over to a slothful spirit to say, man, the Lord hadn't come back yet. I'm about to go back in the world, man. Man, the sister calling me up. I'm finna go deal with her, man. I put on my fringes later. You're being slothful in this work, and you're going to be weeded out of the truth based off of your own lust flesh, man. That's what's going on in Israel, and that's what's going on in the world. You all have to continue to pray to stay into this thing, man. To not be distracted, right? Even while doing this, the music comes on, man. Satan is all around to pull your attention away, man. Brother may be getting sleepy right now, and I was up all night, man. Hey, that spirit is an attack, man. Because the words of the Most High is to cleanse you, is to lift you up, is to encourage you. Who's too slothful to repent of their sins, man? Are you too lazy to build upon this thing, or will your work show truth that you didn't do anything, man? Right? Keep reading.
Verse 12.
Uh-huh.
That ye be not slothful.
Then you do what?
That ye be not slothful.
Uh-huh.
So followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises.
That was a major verse right there, man. Faith and patience is where the inheritance comes, man. Because if you all aren't having faith in this walk, how can you build upon this foundation that was laid by Yahushua? How can you build upon the foundation that the servants and the prophets before us, before 2024, gave their lives over to, man? You're picking up the torch. You're jumping in this fight in prophecy, and now you're too lazy to keep going, man. Work is too hard, man. I got a 9 to 5. I can't do it. Man, I got children, man. Man, I got bills to pay. Every excuse Jake makes to not build upon this foundation thereof, the Lord is sending those angels taking notes of you, man. That's what's even more crazy. You're not understanding that this thing is about patience, right? Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes real quick, man. Let's turn to Ecclesiastes, all right? Chapter 11. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, all right? Ecclesiastes. Let's start at chapter 11. Give me verse 4. Bring it up.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, and verse 4.
Bring it out.
He that observed the wind shall not sow.
What does it say?
He that observed the wind shall not sow.
That's going into someone who likes to procrastinate. It's about the rain outside, so I can't go do the work. Oh, here it comes. It looks like a storm. I guess I'll do it tomorrow. Then I guess I'll wait, spirit, man. I may get wet outside. Read it again.
He that observed the wind shall not sow.
And what else?
And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
This is going into the procrastination spirit. Because either you're going to be working in this truth, building upon the foundation, encouraging one another, going out into the highways and byways, studying, repenting, praying, fasting, encouraging, exhorting, or you're going to make an excuse in every turn to be wicked, man. There is no in-between with the Most High. What did he say? You're either hot or you're cold, but lukewarm, he's going to spew out. Brothers and sisters have to acknowledge their own faults and observe your own works and look at what you're doing in your life and whether or not you're putting forth 100% in this thing, man. 100% doesn't mean get an attitude with your brother. Man, I don't feel like doing it. Why he asked me to do it? Hey, brothers pulled up today, man. Hey, how can I help, man? That's the fruits of the Spirit, man. Who's willing to put in work, man? Right? Who's willing to do it? Keep reading the verse 5 for me.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit,
Uh-huh.
nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
Wow. Read.
Even so, thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Uh-huh. So what does it say?
In the morning sow thy seed.
Or be slothful.
In the morning sow thy seed.
Make an excuse.
In the morning sow thy seed.
Uh-huh.
And in the evening withhold not thy hand. For thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
You don't know how you may impact someone's life who isn't even in the truth by you picking up the plow and doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You don't know who life you may redeem from darkness just by the faith in you. You don't know. So the Lord said, hey, just do it. Just get to it. Stop making an excuse. You know the truth? You know the truth? All right, that's good enough. Oh, you don't know all the precepts? Fine. Teach what you know. Tell them what you know. Give them the light that's in you that got you walking in the way, man. Don't make an excuse in this thing. There's no talent given that should be hidden under the bushel, man. There is no gift given that should be put in a closet, man. The Lord made each and every one of you, man. And he chose who he wanted to choose. So if by the grace of God you're in his truth, you cannot be slothful to the fact that the Most High has given you this much knowledge or that much knowledge, man. Whatever you have, get to it, man. Rise up in the morning, get to it, man. Go to chapter 10, bounce up back a chapter, and read verse 18. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. What does that say?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
By much slothfulness, the building decayeth.
What happens to the building?
By much slothfulness, the building decayeth.
Uh-huh.
And through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth droop.
So it says through idleness of the hands, brothers. Through idleness, man. What are some examples of idleness? The brother just read some cold definitions, man. It says to avoid work. What are some examples in your own lives of idleness, man? That you have left off from your first love and serving the Most High? Or you probably not serving them at all. What are some idle things in your life you have to stop doing? Are you on the game too much? Are you on social media too much? Scrolling for hours? Are you outside throwing a ball around too much? You haven't prayed today? Are you eating your life away? What are the idle things that people do to avoid the work of the Most High, man? There's a plethora of them. Man, I stay next to a bunch of sisters, man. I be outside, man, trying to see who I can pick. What's taking you away from Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Man, I saw this brother the other day, man. He, talking in the sister mind, friend. I wonder if he'd give me the time of day. Let me put on my makeup and heels. Let me go post up in my shorts and my little outfit, man. Hey, sisters gotta, they not out of this either, man. They gotta get rebuked just as well, man. We're all in this together, right? And we all have to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, putting down that idle spirit. You gotta stop avoiding work, man, right? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 10, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 10, man. Let's get through this, right? The Lord is calling us to be better. And through being better, we have a mission that is not to be slothful, that is not to be an excuse maker, it is not to be a blamer. Hey, we was teaching last night, right? What did the sister say last night? You remember the last sister we was talking to? The one who was, she kind of had a guy spirit on her, right? When we told her to turn to the Most High, what did she do? Y'all remember, what did she do? One of the main things she did is say, I got time. I'm kind of cool where I'm at. Hey, the big thing she said is, I know. I know. I know I need to. I know. The Lord know we don't. I know. I gotta change. I know I gotta put on a dress. I know. The sister, hey, she looked more brothered out than the brothers I'm looking at right now, man. How she was dressed, man. I'ma just keep it real. The sister looked like one of the brothers, man. I know. The Lord didn't make me to do this. I know. My dad's a preacher. My dad, I'm good, man. My granddad is a preacher. Sister, you gotta stand in the straight gate, man. You gotta answer for the works of your own hands. You can't stand in front of Yahweh while Yahweh Shai saying my father was a preacher, man. So look, hey, what were you doing though, man? You might not have had it all together, but did you listen to him? Right? Hey, the brother said it best. She had a lot of things to say, man. To stay where she was in sin. How many of you are making excuses to stay where you are in sin, man? To be idle amongst your brethren or amongst your family. There's a lot of people idle in wickedness just a couple of days ago for Halloween, right? Their spirit was idle. That's a spiritual dead set of avoiding the work of the Most High. You got to clean yourself up, man. You're putting on a face of a pimp named Slickback. We ran into him last night, man. Halloween dressed out. Bro, I said, brother, what does a pimp do? Y'all remember all the things he said last night? The brother said, man, he whores the women out. He's a fornicator, murderer even. He was labeling off a bunch of stuff, right? And at the end of his list of wickedness, a trafficker of women, I said, so brother, that's what you do? No, never. No, of course not. I would never. Brother, you got on the outfit for it, man. You're embodying that spirit on a day on earth where you're supposed to be keeping the commandments of the Most High God on the Sabbath day of all. The brother was dressed, who called that out first? The brother came in all purple with the hat. I said, who is he? One of the brothers on the line said, he looks like a pimp named Slickback. I said, who was that? I said, brother, come over here, brother. What's your outfit? A pimp named Slickback. Can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. I'm like, where? I said to who one of you, brother? I'm like, who was that from? Is that like the Boondocks or something? I was like, come on. It's off a cartoon. So we're embodying these spirits, man. And then hey, Jake was having fun with it last night, man. Eve was most definitely having fun with it, man. Karen and the she-saws of this world. Bring this out, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 10.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
According to the grace of God.
To who? Wait a minute. According to who?
According to the grace of God.
A lot of us are sinning on grace. Just straight flat out, man. Straight flat out. You running that grace up, man. Read.
According to the grace of God, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
So this is beautiful right here. And there's a lot of wisdom in this statement. We have to understand that we're adding unto a foundation, man. And there is one master builder, man. The wise master builder, man. And this foundation we have to know is Yahweh Shai. We have to know that he is that cornerstone, man. Right? That foundation that's being given to us, right? One master builder. Read.
And another buildeth thereon.
But another buildeth thereon. So every brother and sister should be looking to build thereupon. And building righteously means you need to learn. You got to repent. You got to leave off from some sin. You got to admit some sin, confess some things. How can you build upon this thing and you're dirty? It's a building of lively stones, pearls, and gold, and rubies, and you're over here bringing straw and grass, man. You're over here bringing rubble and sticks, man. Trying to build upon this lively building, man. And that sticks and grass and rubble, it's gonna burn in the fire, man. It's gonna be made manifest. Who laid this, man? Who tried to put this on the building? Who tried to lay this on the foundation of Yahweh Shai? There's a story going out right now where there's some sister who's a tranny or something like that. I don't know what she is. She may be a woman dressed up like a man, but she was in a camp or something, man. She looked like a dude. She joined somebody's camp. It's circulating across Israel right now. I didn't get the details, but I saw a brief. Like, what is this madness? Hey, every day is some new spirits coming out, man. Into the truth, man. Trying to put your own stone upon Yahweh Shai. And you're going to get rooted out, man. Keep reading.
But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
Say that again.
But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
What does that 11 say?
For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai.
Which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. Let's go to 1 Peter. All right. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. And let's start at verse 2. All right. Because Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is going to be reconciled as the cornerstone that everyone is. See, if you know about building, you know about doing construction, you need that cornerstone laid first to put the foundation in place. Yahweh Shai is being reverenced as the cornerstone. But a lot of people are refusing Yahweh Shai by not keeping the commandments. This is the spiritual breakdown of this, man. Jump into verse 2.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
That ye may what?
That ye may grow thereby.
That ye may what?
That ye may grow thereby.
You want to grow in this truth, man. And everybody has to get the sincere milk first to understand it. The foundation. Read.
If so, be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious,
Uh-huh.
to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men.
So this living stone, it says, disallowed indeed of men, means that it was rejected by a lot of people, man. A lot of people rejected Yahweh Shai as that God, man. That's what that means, going to disallow. But what?
Indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious.
He was chosen of Yahweh, and he is precious, right? So if that's the case, we have to be lively stones to add thereupon. Read.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
What are we trying to do?
Are built up a spiritual house.
Read.
And holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices and acceptable to God by Yahweh Shai.
So this is our duty right here. This is a part of the work. To build up upon this foundation. Every sister and brother should be understanding that you have a stake or a piece of the pie in this truth, man. To where you don't have to sit idly by saying, what am I doing? I don't have anything to do. Where do I fit in? Everyone who's brought into the knowledge of Yahweh Shai has something to offer, man. Everyone. And when you take that awakening and just sit in the back in the bleachers somewhere, you're being looked at by Yahweh. It's like, why are you taking this position towards me? You should be a lively stone upon my name, upon this righteousness, upon this truth. Building your spiritual house up, man. There's plenty of work to get your spiritual house in order, man. Give me that in let's go to Matthew. Let's get this parable real quick. I want to get this parable real quick. Let's jump back. Let's go to Matthew, right? Chapter 21. Okay? Let's go to Matthew chapter 21 and start at verse 33. All right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 21 and let's start at verse 33. Get this parable, man. It's a beautiful parable. Read this.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 21 and verse 33.
Bring it out.
Hear another parable. There was a certain householder.
There was a certain householder, right? There's a certain owner, right? Read.
Which planted a vineyard and hedged it round about, and digged a wine press in it, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country.
So there's this guy who owns this property, right? And he built up this beautiful wine press, man, tower, right? Vineyard in it. And he hired husbandmen, those who plant the seed, man, to work this land. Read.
And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits of it.
Wow. Read.
And the husbandman took his servants and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Again, he sent other servants more than the first, and they did unto them likewise. But last of all, he sent unto them his son.
So you all are seeing what's happening right here spiritually. The Lord is the owner. And he's been sending his prophets and his servants throughout this whole time, dispensation, throughout the book. Now we've made it all the way to the time of Yahweh Shai. He sent his son, man. Let's see what happens when his son gets on the scene. Read.
Saying, they will reverence my son.
What does he say?
They will reverence my son.
What did he think the husband would do?
They will reverence my son.
Because the husbandman could be the lawmen, the lawyers, the Pharisees, those who have the scriptures, the religious of Israel. But you have a lot of people in Israel not receiving what the Lord is sending, man. To reap the fruits of the Spirit, man. Read.
But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, this is the heir.
This is the heir. Read.
Come, let us kill him.
What did they say?
Let us kill him,
Read.
and let us seize on his inheritance. And they caught him, and cast him out of the vineyard, and slew him.
What did they do?
And slew him. When the Lord therefore of the vineyard cometh, what will he do unto those husbandmen?
So this is Yahweh Shai asking a question right here. Red letter. All right, so y'all done killed his son. So when the owner, when the author of all of this, man, when he shows back up, what do y'all think is gonna happen? Read.
They say unto him, he will miserably destroy those wicked men.
So this is what they said. This is what the men who was receiving this parable, the Pharisees, replied back. Hey man, he's gonna deal with them like they dealt with his son did, man. Miserably destroy them, man. Read.
And will let out his vineyard unto other husbandmen.
Unto who?
Unto other husbandmen,
Unto other husbandmen, man. Read.
which shall render him the fruits in their seasons. Yahweh shall say unto them, did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which Did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
That's prophecy. Have you all never read in the scriptures that Yahweh Shai is that corner? That's the stone, right? Have you all never seen that prophecy being laid before you, right? And this is the Lord's doing, who wanted Yahweh Shai to be that cornerstone, man? It is a marvelous thing, man. Read it again.
Did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected,
Uh-huh.
the same is become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
Read.
Therefore say I unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you, and given to a nation, bringing forth the fruits thereof.
So this is going into, man, those who don't want to do this work, those who don't use their gifts, those who don't excel in their talents to magnify Yahweh Shem Yahushua, don't worry about it. You're crucifying Yahweh Shai yet again through your sins. What was given to you is going to be taken from you, man. And it'll be given to someone else, man. Someone else to build upon this foundation, man. Someone else to go wake up the lost sheep, man. Someone else who actually believes. This is the destruction of the so-called slothful idol spirit, man. Who is envious, who is contentious, who doesn't want to repent, who hates Yahweh Shai, man. This is, hey, who's denying this cornerstone right now, man? Who's denying Yahweh Shai, man? As in times past. Get that in Psalm chapter 122 real quick. Right? Get that in Psalm chapter 122.
Start at verse 18.
This is the book of Psalms. You said 122.
Let me see. Psalms. Give me Psalms 118, Salakia. Psalms 118. Go back a verse. Salakia. Psalms 118. And
22.
give me 22.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, the verse 22.
Come on.
The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner.
That's what I want to read that again.
The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner.
Right.
So you got to understand, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. Read verse 21.
Verse 21, I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation.
Who's your house shot?
And art become my salvation.
Who's your house shot?
And art become my salvation.
Every brother should know and sister should know that Yahweh Shai is salvation, man. And that you don't want to refuse Yahweh Shai, man. You want to do everything that Yahweh Shai has instructed you to do through the power of Yahweh. Read verse 22.
The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is the Lord's doing.
Who's doing?
This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in your art. It is marvelous in our eyes.
So this is that reference of prophecy, man, that was being mentioned by Yahweh Shai. Have you not read this in the scriptures, right? This is all the way back in the book of Psalms, man. So you all have to understand that this thing was predestined, predetermined from the beginning, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 18. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, man. Right? And let's start at verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 15. Bring us up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 15.
Check it out.
The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
Unto him what?
Unto him ye shall hearken.
Ye shall refuse.
Unto him ye shall hearken.
So it says that Yahweh Shai was going to be raised up, and this is the prophet that it's speaking about, man. The Lord was going to raise him up, is what it said furthermore. So you all tie these scriptures together to study that the Lord had this thing predestined from the beginning, man. Whom he will send, sending his son. It will be based off of the Most High's discretion. Whom that prophet, that cornerstone would be, man. Give me verse 18. Bounce down to verse 18.
Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren.
From among who?
From among their brethren. Like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth. And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Wow. Y'all see that? It says that the Most High was going to send Yahweh Shai. And all the words that Yahweh Shai would speak would be the words that Yahweh put in his mouth to speak. And everyone who didn't listen is going to be required of you. Meaning if you disallowed him or refused or rejected Yahweh, Yahweh's prophet, Yahweh Shai, that these things were going to come upon your head. Give me that in Matthew. Go back to Matthew real quick and finish that out. It's going to say that, man. Go back to Matthew chapter 21 and start at verse like 43. Finish that last scripture out, man, of that parable. Matthew chapter 21. Let's go back. Right? And start at verse 43. Matter of fact, start at verse 44.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21 and verse 44. And whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken.
Shall what?
Shall be broken.
Read.
But on whosoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
So you got to listen to Yahweh Shai, man. You can't refuse the Most High. You're either going to have the words and the spirit in you, the fruits of the spirit moving through you, or you're going to be refused and he's either going to fall upon you or you're going to try to fall upon him. And you're going to be broken, man. These things are already beset before the Most High, before his people, before the servants, right, to happen. As you read in the parable, he's been sending his servants and his prophets, man, since time's beginning, man. And everyone's been refusing, killing up the prophets, killing up the servants. They beheaded John, man. Throwing Daniel, throwing brothers in lions' dens and in fire pits, man. Hey, nobody wants any of this truth, man. No nation wants to deal with who we are. What about our own people? What about the Israelites, man? Do you want to deal with who you are? A prophet from among your brethren. Get that in John. Let's go to John, right? And let's go to chapter 1, okay? Let's go to John chapter 1 real quick, man. And let's get this at about verse 46, I believe. And there was a prophet that was going to be sent from among your brethren. Not many people believe this thing, man. Right? Start at verse 45.
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 45.
Bring it out.
Philip found Nathanael and said unto him, We have found him.
They did what?
We have found him,
What?
of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write.
And we just read that. We just read where Moses and the law did write about this. They have found this person. But what else does it say?
Yahushua of Nazareth.
Who?
Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
The son of an angel.
The son of Joseph.
Mary was impregnated by some spirit.
The son of Joseph.
Hey, man, Yahweh Shai is the son of Joseph, man. Put it to rest. Put it to bed, man. For all those people who keep saying it was some immaculate conception and married, and hey, man, Mary got dealt with by Joseph, man. He dealt with his wife like any other brother gonna deal with his wife, man. His baby, his seed, man. The son of Joseph, man. And what happened in verse 46?
Verse 46. And Nathanael said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Hey, man, brother was in disbelief. Man, you gotta be kidding me. This out of Nazareth? Yeah, brother, out of Nazareth, man. Yeah, I was shot, man. A prophet raised up amongst you from among your brethren, man. Dang right out of Nazareth, man. Where else? Read. So, hey, that's just like saying brothers can't come out this truth coming out of South Memphis, man. Hey, you mean this brother teaching, he from South Memphis? He ain't got a degree? Yeah, brother. It's an Israelite, man. In no other place will you find the Lord's people, man. In the hoods is where we at. In the ghettos is where we at. In poverty is where we at, man. We come out of those backgrounds. No good thing comes out of Nazareth. Hey, so say you, man. Read.
Philip saith unto him, Come and see. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him, and saith of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed.
Who?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
Who's Yahushua?
Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no God. Nathanael said unto him, Whence knowest thou me? Yahushua answered and said unto him, Before that Philip called thee, when thou wast under the fig tree, I saw thee.
Yeah, keep going.
Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of God, thou art the King of Israel.
So these were Israelites. Yahweh Shai, hey, man, I see you, man. You're an Israelite indeed. But guess who I am? I'm also an Israelite, man. Hey, Nathanael said, hey, you saw me doing what under the fig tree? Yeah, I saw you, bro. Man, I know I was out there alone, man. You must be the most, yeah, you must be Yahweh Shai, the King of Israel, man. The King of the Jews, man. Right? And what did Yahweh Shai say in verse 50?
Yahushua answered and said unto him, Because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree. Believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than this.
Just because I peeked you out, man, you didn't think I was there, I got my eyes, and the Lord wasn't delivering things to me in that sense, man, you think that was just some great thing? But hey, there are greater things on the way. So every brother and sister has to stay in this walk and be patient for the greater things to come, man. Don't get caught up in what you're going through, what you're not going through, the things that you don't have, the things that you do desire. Man, hey, know that the Most High is going to bring greater things to you all. If you stay patient, if you keep going, if you keep building upon Yahweh Shai, man, these things is what's necessary. Y'all got to show the fruits of the Spirit, man. And continue fighting for this thing, man. Right? Finish us out.
And he saith unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto you,
Uh-huh.
hereafter ye shall see heaven open,
That's a great thing. Read.
and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
Uh-huh.
And that's a beautiful thing right there, man. Right? Did we finish that out of 1 Peter? Let's go back to 1 Peter, right? Let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 2 real quick. Did you have a precept? Okay, come. Let's go back to 1 Peter real quick. Chapter 2. And let's start at verse 6.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, Behold, I lay in Zion,
I lay in Zion,
a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
So, of course, kings, of course, sisters, you shall not be confounded if you believe upon these scriptures. If you brothers keep praying to understand the scriptures, asking questions, jumping in chats, keep chasing this thing with your whole heart. Stop making excuses. Do what you have to do, man, to stay on this thing and keep adding unto this chief cornerstone. Read.
God. Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious.
Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious. Read.
Come. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
So you got to understand, the Lord said a lot of people were appointed to be wicked, to stumble at the word, to disallow Yahushua. They were designed to go off. And that's a terrible thing if you're being designed to go off, man. If you're being designed to be wicked, man. To push away from the truth. That's a terrible thing. The Lord is a terrible person to play with, man. Let's just put that out there. You don't want to play with being woke up in this truth and turning back to sin, man. Oh, hey, maybe you were appointed to, as it just said, man. Maybe these scriptures were meant to trip you up, to be a stumbling block unto you, man. Because in your heart, you really didn't want to do this thing. Keep reading.
Whereunto also they were appointed. But ye are a chosen generation,
Uh-huh.
a royal priesthood,
Uh-huh.
a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness.
What did he do?
Who have called you out of darkness.
Where were we at?
Who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
This is the portion, man. Every brother and sister has been called out of darkness, and it's your duty to do the work to stay out of darkness, man. To stay out of being covetousness, lascivious with one another, man. It's your duty to do these things, man. Because the works of your hands are going to be vetted out. Let's get that in Malachi chapter 3. Bring it out.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
To an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in you for heaven. So as Aknehum was saying, the Yahushua is the cornerstone, and without the cornerstone, the builder's not going to stay stable. It's
Right.
going to fall.
Right.
And from the hands of your works, if you are idle, if your hands are corrupt, then that building is also going to fall.
Right.
What I'm trying to say right now is that we are supposed to be building a foundation of righteousness. And if our hands are idle, if our hands are unclean, that building is going to fall. Why? Because the cornerstone is going to remove itself. We're not going to get that inheritance, that incorruptible, that, as it says, in undefiled, in that fadeth not away inheritance.
Thomas, I'll praise the Most High for that.
Beautiful breakdown, man. Because again, if brothers aren't putting their hands to the plow righteously, your hands and the works that y'all are putting towards this thing is gonna burn up. Let's get that in Malachi chapter 3. All right, let's get that in Malachi chapter 3, and let's start at about verse 2. All right, Malachi chapter 3, and let's start at verse 2. What are you gonna do when Yahushua does return? That's a bigger question, right? What are you gonna do when the Most High sends the master builder, man, that cornerstone back to fruition, and everyone's works is gonna be required of them? Read this.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 2.
Read it out.
For who may abide the day of his coming, and whom shall stand when he appears?
That's a real question. Everybody should be considering that. What are you gonna do? Read.
For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap.
So this is going into those blacksmiths and those who are hammering out at the anvil, man. You know, they're into that fire. They're shaping metal. They're around a lot of heat. And any perfections that go in that thing, what? It gets burned away. Read.
And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver.
See that?
And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
So the Levites are going to be restored to do their duties again, man. Right? Everyone has to be purged and purified. So in times that are going to be refreshing, everyone's going to be in their position to present a righteous thing to the Most High, or you're going to be removed. Read that.
Verse 4. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old,
See that?
and as in former years.
Uh-huh.
And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress their hireling in his wages,
Uh-huh.
the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts.
You see that? So this is why you all have to get it together, man. Right? Get that 1 Peter chapter 1 real quick, man. Let's get that 1 Peter chapter 1 real quick. Right? And read verse 7, man. You all have to endure this thing, man. Hey, you don't want to get consumed, man. You don't want to be burnt up, man. Depart from me, I never knew you. Bring this up.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. That the trial of your faith,
That what?
that the trial of your faith,
What do we need?
that the trial of your faith,
Is what?
being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire,
What's gonna happen?
though it be tried with fire,
What's gonna happen to us?
though it be tried with fire,
You're going to go through some things, man. And you're going to be tried in the fire, man. You're going to have some issues at home. You might have some issues at school. And how you handle it, the Lord is going to take note of that, man. The Lord is taking note of all of us, man. Read.
might, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua,
At the appearing of who?
Read. Whom having not seen ye love, and whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory,
Uh-huh.
receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
So that's what everybody should be after. That's what everybody should be chasing. You should be trying to receive the salvation of your souls. You shouldn't be idle in this truth. You shouldn't be playing around. You shouldn't be lazy, right? Let me get a precept real quick in Proverbs chapter 19, man. You shouldn't be slothful is what it says, right? Let's get that in Proverbs 19 and verse 15, right? Proverbs chapter 19 and give me verse 15. All right? Bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep.
What does it do?
Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep.
Uh-huh.
And an idle soul shall suffer hunger.
What shall suffer hunger?
And an idle soul shall suffer hunger.
Laziness, man. It says laziness. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall never feed himself, man. Shall never be straight. You're going to be wanting, is what it's talking about, right? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
But if you keep the commandment, your soul is kept from wanting, man. Your soul is kept in a way, read.
But he that despiseth his ways shall die.
And if you despise the ways of keeping the commandments, hey, death is upon you, all right? Straight like that, straight up and down. This doesn't have to be a begrudging thing a belaboring thing, a grievous thing to keep the commandments of the Most High, man. Bring it up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
Hate not laborer's work.
Do what?
Hate not laborer's work.
Do what?
Hate not laborer's work.
That's a beautiful precept, man. Hate not laborious or laborious work, man. Don't be the sluggard when it comes to your spiritual house, man. Bring it up.
Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained.
The Lord does it. I get it, man. We be up in the wee hours, and brothers work all week, and sisters work all. They got children, and I get it. I do. But there is no excuses, not even for me, man. It takes a lot of work to do this, man. But y'all can do it, man. It's worth it, man. It's worth it, man. Just 15 minutes of reading is worth it, man. Just 5 minutes of prayer is worth it, man. Don't sell yourself short because you're not some great prophet or YouTube star or I don't know what they doing now, TikTok guy or something. Hey, serve the Lord, man. And make your election sure, man. Screw the likes, screw the debates, screw the forget about all that crap, man, the pats on the back. Get your house in order, man. That's what that means when it says get your house in order. It doesn't say sweep up the floors, man. It ain't talking about clean out your toilet, man. Put some new shingles on the roof, man. It's talking about the soul that the Most High gave you all, man. And these things you all have to vet out. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 5 real quick. 1 Timothy chapter 5, right? As we get ready to wind down. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 9. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and start at about verse 9. Matter of fact, give me verse 8.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
But if any provide not for his own, and specifically for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel.
A lot of people are denying the faith. Even in a physical sense, you're not doing what's righteous and providing for your home. You're not doing what's righteous and providing for your family. You're not even building up your spiritual house. You're an infidel, man. An abomination to the Most High. Keep reading.
Let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work.
So it's going into, man, people who may be without a husband and just not following into some lustful situation, but actually doing the work of the Most High, the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Not following after a man, not giving yourself over to concupiscence. It's giving the time span in which you could actually deal with a person. But most importantly, it's talking about the works on a spiritual level. Bounce down to verse 13.
Verse 13, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house.
A lot of people are wanton, as it says in verse 11. A lot of people don't want to marry. They want to be freaks out here. They want to do whatever, right? A lot of people avoid the work because of this. They want to stay in the world. They want to be idle, right? It says wandering from house to house. And that's another spirit that goes into laziness, not doing the work, being a busybody. Being a busybody. That's another level of laziness. It means you rather not just sit around, you rather go do something else completely just to avoid that work, just to avoid the motive. You're busy. You're not just idle. You're busy on something else, intentionally. Read.
And not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not.
Brothers, somebody look up busybody. Give me the definition of a busybody. Right? Give me the definition of a busybody. Somebody do that in Webster's real quick. What does it say about busybodies, man? Right? You don't want to do the work. You're idle, you're lazy. Now we're gonna dip into busybody, man. What is that?
A meddling or prying person.
A meddling or prying person. Meaning you don't pertain yourself to the business that you should be. Meddling means you're dealing with someone else's business. Prying means what? You're dealing with, you're pushing into someone else's. That's to pry, right? Read.
What else does it mean?
Interfere.
To do what?
Interfere.
To interfere.
Meddler.
A meddler, man. Anybody know a meddler? Somebody just, hey, when you do something, they just got something to say, right? They got, what they call it, you got to offer your 10 cents. I don't know what they say nowadays, right? 2 cents. Yeah, you got to do 2 cents, man. You got the 2 cent spirit, man. Let's face east. Hey, brother, I really think you facing southwest east, man. Let's turn a couple more notches, right? You got the Zeeks on, you got the fringes on. Hey, brother, you got to kind of put fringes all over you, brother. They should be off your shoulders too. Hey, I'm just saying, brothers, it's always people who meddle, but when it comes to you examining them, their house out of order, man. They at home freaking off, smoking the weed, dealing with multiple sisters. Give me 2 Thessalonians real quick, man, before we wind down. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, and let's start at verse 10. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, and let's start at verse 10. Bring this out.
Yeah.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commend you, that if any would not work,
That what?
that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
Neither should he what?
Neither should he eat.
Hey, man, if you don't want to work, guess what? Just like it said in Proverbs, hey, you're going to be hungry, man. If you don't want to get rid of that sin, you're going to get caught out here in prophecy and judgment, man. Straight like that. Read.
God. For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, walking not at all, but are busybodies.
But a what?
But are busybodies.
Not walking at all, but are just busy out here, man. Just doing whatever they want to do. Hey, is that you? A lot of, like, so Spirit Check Saturday, man, you got to consider yourself. That's the whole purpose of coming together, so we can sit in a room and consider our works towards the Most High and how we can get better. Did everybody understand, Con? Y'all should be considering yourselves, man. Don't let the day go by to where it's next week and you was giving hell all week, man. Giving somebody hell all week, man. Don't be that person. You got any more precepts on that, King?
No, but if I could say one thing about this precept.
You got it.
Yeah. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, if any would not work, neither should he eat. So if we do not do the works of the Most High, then we're not going to receive the sincere bread and milk.
Right.
Con, no, most definitely that, man. Before we go close out, give me Deuteronomy chapter 30 real quick, right? We get another precept before we wind it down, man. Through the Spirit, everybody should be checking themselves whether they're in the fruits of the Spirit, leading up to the Feast of Dedication, leading up into the next new moons. Everyone should be showing the fruits of the Spirit, man, right? Give me verse 9, Deuteronomy 30 and verse 9. Bring this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 9. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand.
So if you are really willing to work in the law, it says the Lord's going to make you plenteous, man. The Lord will do right by you. If you have the fortitude to put your hand to the plow. Keep reading.
In the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
This is what you have to do, man. With all your heart, with all your soul, you have to turn back to the Most High. Give me Sirach real quick when we close out on here. Sirach chapter 38 and verse 24. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach chapter 38 and start in verse 24. Okay? Read this.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise.
So if you're not a busybody, if you're not into too many things, you'll have the understanding to serve the Most High. You'll get a chance to study. Hey, when you got too much business, you don't even have time to sleep a lot of times. You got time to take a good shower, man. Working all the way through the wee hours. How much more so the work of the Most High? If you got too many wives, you got too many responsibilities, you got too many hats that you're wearing, is what they say. Right? Keep reading.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow,
That hold up the plow, read.
and that glorieth in the goad, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is a bullock? He giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind father.
So it's going into, your talks are going to be of what you put your mind to. Whether it's, bro, you watching sports all day. Guess what? When I run into the brother, we're going to say, hey, what about the Cowboys? You're giving your mind to whatever you give it to. And the Lord saying, how much more can you serve me if this is all that you're about? All right, bounce down to verse 31.
Verse 31. All these trust to their hands.
What do they do?
All these trust to their hands. And every one is wise in his work.
So you guys got to understand that wisdom doesn't come in this world. Wisdom doesn't come in being a busybody. You guys have to give yourselves back to your how about Shimmy Shah. You have to kind of make more time, man, when you can. Right? In your spare time, brothers should be trying to read a chapter or two, man. Sisters should be praying over their heads, man. Versus looking through each other's things, belongings, checking phones and stuff, man. Pray over each other, man. Let's not be busybodies in sin. Let's be righteous in our own mind, man. Let's not be busybodies in hatred. Let's be righteous in our own right. But with that, man, we're going to get ready to close out. We've reached our time, man. If anybody has any questions or anybody wants to dialogue, make sure you hit WFI-Memphis at Gmail, WFI-Memphis at Gmail, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But with that, man, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom. King, can you get that for me? Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Kwame Yasharallah. Kwame Yasharallah. Kwame Yasharallah. Kwame Yasharallah. Shalom.